Welcome back. In this video, we are going to look at Benjamin Graham's quantitative criteria for stock selection. We'll look at them one by one. The first criteria is adequate size of enterprise. Graham recommended that an investor should only look at those companies which have sales of over 100 million. In his view, smaller companies would be subject to more fluctuations in business performance compared to the average company, and hence these smaller companies should be avoided. The criteria is laid down with respect to the US markets, and if you are dealing with some other market, like say I deal with the Indian markets, then you will need to suitably modify this criteria. I often limit my analysis to companies that the mutual funds in my country might be interested in or may be potentially interested in the future. This lets me avoid companies whose stock prices may be subject to price manipulation by the operators. For this purpose, I typically don't look at companies with market caps much below rupees 200 crores. Now you may also devise a similar criteria to ensure that you are investing in adequately sized enterprise. Alternatively, you may be more conservative and stick with Graham's recommendation. The second criteria laid down by Graham is of sufficiently strong financial condition of the company you are investing in. Graham required companies to have a current ratio of over 2. Now, as you have already learned, current ratio is the ratio of current assets to current liabilities. He also required companies to be conservative on debt. A debt to equity ratio of less than 1 is also an important criteria to ensure picking companies with manageable long-term debt. The third criteria laid down by Graham was with respect to earnings stability. Now this is broadly referred to as the company making some profit every year for the last 10 years. Graham specifically was against giving too much importance to results of one quarter or 1 year. He recommended looking for companies that have been generally profitable with growing sales and profit over last 10 years. Now sometimes you may not get data for 10 years for many companies, especially if you are operating out of an emerging market. So for example, I operate in India and I often look at data from last 5 to 7 years if 10 years data is not available. The fourth criteria laid down by Graham relates to the earnings growth. Graham recommended a growth in earnings over last 10 years of at least 33%. The fifth criteria laid down by Graham relates to moderate price relative to earnings of the company. So he used the price to earnings ratio. Graham recommended investing in a stock with a PE multiple of less than 15. The sixth criteria laid down by Graham relates to moderate price relative to assets. Now this is based on commonly reported price to book value ratio. Graham recommended investing in stocks where price to book value ratio is less than 1.5. In general, he combined price relative to earnings criteria and price relative to assets criteria by saying that the product of the PE ratio and the price to book value ratio should not exceed 22.5. Now this figure of 22.5 corresponds to the PE ratio of 15 multiplied by the price to book value ratio of 1.5. The seventh quantitative criteria relates to paying regular dividends. Graham recommends buying only those companies that have history of paying dividends consistently over the last 20 years. Now this may be good for the US stock market, but in many emerging markets that are relatively new, this criteria may need to be relaxed. This is especially true now because today dividends are not seen as source of income from stocks, but it is still good to look for companies paying dividends unless there is a very strong business case for the management to retain money to invest in future growth. A company that is not paying dividends but is retaining money to invest in future growths should be able to do so at a reasonable return on equity. So for example, on average, if you see that a company has a low return on equity of say 6 to 7% or less, and the company is still not paying any dividend in spite of generating profits, you may assume that the management is unfairly retaining profits with the company instead of paying dividends to the investor. However, if a company has a record of high return on equity with growth, is also doing a lot of capital expenditure for future expansion, then this may be seen as a good enough justification for retaining the profits with the company. Now that we have seen Graham's quantitative criteria, let's summarize them in short. Graham recommends that the company should have sales of at least over $100 million. Now this may be revised to $500 million in today's dollar terms in US. In other countries, we may limit to only those companies which are on radar of mutual funds. The second criteria is the company should have a current ratio of greater than 2. The third criteria is that it should have some profit every year for the last 10 years. The fourth criteria is that its earnings growth should be of at least 33% over last 10 years. The company should have a price to earnings ratio of less than 15 and a price to book value ratio of less than 1.5. Combining this fifth and sixth point, Graham said that in no case you should invest in a company where multiple of price to earnings and price to book value ratio is above 22.5. Lastly, Graham recommended companies which paid regular and consistent dividends. With this, I hope you have understood Graham's quantitative criteria for selecting stocks. Now in the next video, I'm going to share with you some other terminologies related to Graham's investing style. So see you in the next video.